You mentioned quite a few points of failure as you're finding your way to real estate investing.
Yes.
You know, this is probably being a bit transparent on my end, but every time I have something go wrong like that, it just completely throws off my compass. I don't know what to do, which direction to go, second guessing myself. But you seem to try again. Is that a mindset thing, or did you experience that as well?
Well, at the time of the failure, it's really difficult. It's really hard because it hits you. Of course, you try to do your best at the time with the knowledge that you had at the time. But after it happens and you learn from what went wrong, that's a very important reason. What went wrong? What didn't work? And, if you read about successful people, the average of fallings is about 3.8 times. Every successful guy has failed about 3.8 times. That's the average. And looking back, I'm glad things happen the way they happen because you start from experience and you don't start from zero. You start from extremely valuable lessons that you're not going to repeat again. And they get so recorded inside you that you simply cannot forget and you will avoid them at any cost next time.
I just realized this, and I hate to make this connection, but you said the average successful person has failed 3.8 times, which you could round up to four directions on a compass. You're finding your way. You're actually finding your true north through that process.
That is correct. At some point, you realize I'm already 50 years old. I realize what worked, what didn't work, the mistakes I had in my life, and also, I have found my way guided by God. I found my way in God, and that has helped me and has helped my business because we are really God centered oriented. As some people said to me, why are you saying it just like that? Some people are not going to like it. And I always said, listen, whoever doesn't like it probably shouldn't be my customer. But most people will resonate and will appreciate it because at the end, we all in the company, we are their servants, God's servant.
Well, we're probably going to be touching on some of that in a minute here, but so the previous story too about you talking about being scammed and losing your family's business and wealth. Is that where, a lot of the information I've seen regarding you, there's a lot of talk about preservation of wealth. Is that is that where that evolved from? Is the concept of using real estate for preservation versus growth?
No, that has been a mature concept. And in the past, when we used to have the $1.2 billion portfolio, I would say the strategy was very aggressive. It was a value-added strategy with high debt. And this is a big risk in general for anybody that takes that strategy. It requires a lot of execution, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And one of the things that you learn is that every deal has a hiccup, every single deal, and there is no business plan that fulfills itself. There's no projection that you cannot pinpoint. There's so many moving parts when you are in that kind of a strategy that it's very hard to pinpoint exactly how things are going to go. You really have an idea. You need to trust what you're doing. And I always said, this is like going to work. Trust your training, trust what you know, and do the best you can in that sense. In that strategy, and there were many successes, especially after COVID, how things change and how the market is today. Decided to, you know what, things need to change here in the sense that you see in the market today, and there's so much competition. And when you start analyzing the competition, I would call the competition, is everybody's offering some returns, some other here, and properties have a heartbeat. They behave in a certain way, and depending on the class that you buy and what you have to do, the property will behave in a certain way. It's not that I have some kind of magic or secret that nobody knows. No, anybody that knows the business understands the metrics. So I decided, we're going to go backwards. Somebody needs to put the foot on the ground here and decide to apply common sense. Okay. So common sense is that instead of having my customer, my client in front of me, I mean, you know what? I'm on your side. You work so hard to earn what you have that I have a fiduciary responsibility now to take care of what you already earn. I'm not here to play games, to play risky, to try to, to get rich with this playing it risks that are unnecessary. You know, so I decided to, I'm gonna do what historically has been proven that works. And what works? Hey, invest in major markets with growth, low debt, well capitalized property, you know, location is very important. But I always said the idea is just the beginning. Execution is a difference, makes a difference.